G'day and welcome everyone to part 2 of my skincare routine thing. This stuff is the stuff that I use regularly but not like every day, and different things get used in different circumstances, so that's why I wanted to give this an entirely separate video. That, and I couldn't film the other video that I wanted to because I am trash and went shopping again. But we're just going to talk about a couple of skincare products that I have that I use every 2 to 3 days, maybe only once a week, but let's just get started and go through it all. So first up is this really nifty little tool that Bonnie picked up for me because there was a deal going at Priceline where she could get 3 things for a really good price. So it's this little cleansing like pad, and basically what you do is if you've got a foaming or a cream cleanser, when you apply it to your skin, you just like rub it with this. Rub it into your skin and it helps get it into your pores better with these little filaments, and then these thicker filaments are for, and it is silicone, so if anybody has a problem with silicone on their face, maybe don't try it. According to Bonnie, sensitive skin users can use this no problem, just don't be too rough with yourself, just, you know, unless you're into that. Don't be too rough with yourself unless, you know, you're 100% sure that your skin can handle it, because she has sensitive skin, but she doesn't have like the kind of sensitive skin where if you look at her the wrong way, she gets like eczema kind of on you. This is a handy little tool to have, and I think it's like full price, like $4. And I'm sure you could pick up something like this on eBay. And because it's kind of like a stock standard product, you shouldn't have too much problem buying something like that. Next up, the stuff I use in my shower. Now this is a 3-in-1 mask. It's a sit down and dries on your skin kind of mask, and then you rub it into your skin as a scrub, and then it's also like just a face wash. And I find this works really, really well as long as I don't do it every single day. I do it every 3 days minimum. If you've got sensitive skin, don't use it more than once a week, just because it's a scrub. Even though it's not a physical scrub, it's a salicylic acid, pumicey, citrusy scrub. It can be a little too much on skin if you do use it more than once a week if you're sensitive. So just keep an eye out for that. So if you're worried about anything messing with your skin because it's a chemical or something, you don't have to worry. I think, yeah, the only thing in here that could be considered a chemical is probably the salicylic acid. Oh. Next up, it's something I picked up today, but I know from user reviews online, and my friend Bonnie says it works for sensitive skin pretty well, is this Be Your Pore Penetrating Charcoal Bar. Now this is really, really nifty because it looks like a rock, but it also smells so intensely of peppermint, it's not funny, and that's the nice kind of peppermint. So charcoal is really, really good for the skin because it absorbs impurities. But basically what you do is you lather it up and you rub it all over your face, and it exfoliates as well as penetrates and cleanses. You are supposed to feel a little bit tingly afterwards, like that's a completely normal feeling. If there's burning or pain, don't use it, but tingliness is normal. Next up, I have this charcoal pore minimizer. Now I really loved this stuff. I used it in conjunction with this. I had such smooth, tight skin afterwards, and not the kind of tight where you're like, my skin's so dry. This was really just more like a lifted tightness that was really, really, really good. And again, because it's got charcoal in it, it pulls out impurities. Optimal results is 2 to 3 times a week, so I am using it about that often, which means I'm fine. Next up is this little something that I picked up from AliExpress, and basically they look like this. They are cucumber shaped and colored pieces of paper that, or wipes I suppose, that have been infused with cucumber extract and green tea extract, and then also a couple of fruit and plant extracts as well, so that the nutrients penetrate. These are not safe to put over your eyeballs. Do not let the moisture come in contact with your eyeballs. I'm not telling you from experience, but I'm telling you that it's not safe to put this shit in your eyes. Don't do it. So my best suggestion, if you want to do it under the eyes, is to actually make sure it's folded in half before you apply it under your eyes. Or if you think you can fiddle with it, cut one in half. But it's also really good to put on the cheeks, on the forehead, under your mouth. You know, you can apply it almost like a face mask. Speaking of pore strips, these are my go-to. Now these are infused with tea tree and kaolin. I hope that's how you pronounce it. So they're also just really good at, one, pulling the sebum out, and then two, detoxifying. When I use these, because basically what you do is you wet your nose, you stick it on, make sure it's in all your crevices, and you let it sit until it goes dry, so you can like tap it. You're supposed to pull it up very gently. So by the end of it, you're crying because you're very gently pulling it all over the skin. And when I say gently, I actually mean it feels like you're being waxed really slowly. But they're worth it. Now you get 6 to a box, and a box is $6. They're $5.99 a box, and you get 6 of them. So it's actually a really good deal to get them. Formula 1006 stuff is very cheap, just in general. It's a really, really good product. So if you're somebody who's not great with pain, maybe don't do it. Because it feels like you're being waxed very slowly. Like, very slowly. Now, these next little packets, I love these things, but also kind of hate them. And here's why. I love them. They actually work. They're pore minimizing spots. They're infused with tea tree again, but they're also infused with grapeseed. So they're really, really great if you stick them on a spot. Basically what you do is you stick them on a pimple and then you sleep on it. And the next morning you just peel them off before you do your cleansing routine. And they work. They really do minimize the spots. If you use them too many times in a row, you end up with a really perfectly round, dry patch of skin, which is not attractive, but it's also kind of worth it. So if you're going to use these, don't use them more than 3 nights in a row, I would suggest. They're great. They really do work. I've had monstrous volcanoes on my face that have, you know, turned to nothing in about 4 days. Keeping on the Formula 1006 trend, we all know that that's one of my favorite brands ever. This is my favorite thing ever. This is the Keep Your Cool Breakout Calming Mask. And this right here is why I love it. First of all, it smells like spearmint and coconut. And it really works. Now, it's not your normal type of mask where you put it on and you leave it for 15 minutes and then it dries and then you wash it all off with a sponge. No. You spread this all over your face and it's a gel. So it goes on clear. And you spread it all over your face, pea-sized spots here in your T-zone, and just spread it out across your face. You want a thin layer. And what it'll do is it'll absorb into your skin. After 5 minutes, you rub any excess and then blot. Don't wipe, blot. And what it does is it calms and purifies your skin. So they have this oil absorbing. We interrupt this viewing to bring you, look at this cat. What was I saying? Oh, okay. Next up is this No Time to Shine oil absorbing mud mask, also from Formula 1006. Is anyone noticing a trend here? This is really, really good for oily skin. Now, if you don't have oily skin, this is kind of pointless to use, so I would recommend one of their other ones. They've got a skin clarifying one, which is their strawberry one, and then they also have a skin cleansing one, which is their orange one. So I use this once a week, and it's really, really worth it for me to just sit down, paint my face, lay down for 15 minutes, and just enjoy the feeling of all these bad impurities being sucked from my skin. I just think that no matter what, I don't drink enough water. And I've tried. Like, I drink a whole bottle of water a day, I'm pretty sure. Which I know you're supposed to drink like 2 liters, but realistically, you'd spend your entire life peeing if you drank 2 liters of water a day. How much of this am I going to have to edit out? Like a good solid 3 minutes. And last, but certainly not least, is this Bliss body butter that I got from my first Bella box, in fact. Now this is the sample size. The actual bottle, I think it comes in a tub and then like a big pump bottle. I can't wait to get my hands on one of them. I just have to save up a bit of money because they are kind of expensive. But Bliss is an Australian owned company. They actually have like a spa in Sydney, but they also make their own body care stuff. So this is their body butter in lemon and sage, and I use this mostly on my knees and my elbows. If I pumice my feet that night, I use it on my feet to help push in some moisture. But this doesn't have a really greasy after feel. It's really, really good to rub on your weenus. It's really, really good to rub on your elbows if you're like me and you spend all of your time on the computer and so have like dryness all the way up here. But I really, really love it. It smells really nice. It works really well. It lasts a long time. Like you put it on and you only have to, I put it on at nighttime, and then maybe if it's a particularly bad day, I'll have to put it on in the morning. But as a general rule, once a day, that's all you need. Anyway, this has been a video. This has been a really bad video. This is going to be a really long video and I apologize. But that's it. And so with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.